Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and the member of this House. I am, as the government leader, support the House support amendment presidential terms. There are some definitions about amendments. According to the Big Indonesia Dictionary, an amendment is a proposal to change the law that is discussed in the House of Representatives. Again, other definition says that is a minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, etc. When it is altered, the purpose of that of improving the existing constitution to be better and not vice versa. There are some advantages when we have already support the amendment to presidential terms. The first is it gives the leader, in this case, president and government, chance to evaluate and improve the running administration. The second, opportunity for the power holder to make the government member even better by doing reshuffle. In Indonesia, we did reshuffle in 1998 and the effect is a very big effect. And the other side is dismissing the board's member who do not show the good performance. Because not all the boards are doing good performance, so the president or even the government can dismiss the boards who do not show the good performance. The third, reducing the cost of general election that spends a lot of budget. You know, when there is general election, Indonesia, our country, spend a lot of budget, and that is a very useless. That budget can be allocated become for ending poverty, giving health facilities for those who need, prospering honorary teachers, and health of our education, especially in Indonesia. Provisions regarding amendments in Undang-Undang Dasar 1945 are contained in the Chapter 19 of the 1945 Constitution, which consists in Article 37, Paragraph 1 till 5. Article 37, Paragraph 1 till 5 states that its proposal to amend the Constitution can be put in the agenda of the session of the People Consultative Assembly, MPR, if it is submitted by at least 1/3 of the total member of MPR. Taken from Kompas.com in June 2021 said that so far in 1945 Constitution has been amended 4 times. You know everyone, 4 times. You can imagine it's very strong for Indonesia to have amendment 4 times, and when the House support the amendment to presidential terms because we have amended 4 times. The first in 1999 MPR General Session, the second amendment in 2000 MPR General Session, the third in 2001 MPR General Session, and the last amendment in 2002 MPR General Session. Those are the strongest argument that Indonesia, the House support amendment presidential terms. So including the presidential terms, the conclusion is, again and again, I am the leader of government really support and agree the House support amendment presidential terms. Good morning and thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and the members of this House. I'm the opposition leader, and I strongly disagree with the motion which supports the amendment of presidential terms. Why? There are some points that should be underlined in this case. The most important one is that we are the nation of law, live in the country of law, and we all should obey the regulations that are validated by our fundamental constitution, that is UUD 1945. There is no need or even urgency to alter or make changes in the presidential terms, because for a long time it has been ruled that the term of presidential leadership is only 5 years, and the president is allowed to be elected again for the second general election. Ladies and gentlemen, we can notify that not only in Indonesia who rules this kind of policy, but a number of countries in the world such as Brazil, Chile, Argentina, America, and Philippines, they use the presidential term and they regulate the same policy, that is using the limited terms of leadership. And it also applies to the the vice president and the parliament too. If we take a reference from the 1945 constitution, we will find that the presidential term is restricted to only 2-year leadership. It means it's only 2 terms. And it is said in article number 7 of 1945 Fundamental Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, at the time, a cadre of Democratic Party, this is the evidence that I mentioned before, that there is denial. There are some denials that when the issue of presidential would be revised or would be amended. At the time, a cadre of Democratic Party suggested the possibility that SBY, Mr. Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, could lead for up to 3 terms, and however, the proposal could cause public policy and resistance. Finally, the debate subsides and stopped after SBY responded and explained his position not to agree to the raised proposal. Ladies and gentlemen, all parties should understand that the amendment of presidential term is a response of rejection by many people, and the new we cannot say that the experience of the older and the new order, the old order and the new order of Indonesia is the picture that this issue will only lead to chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Since this case is not raised at this time, and it is also heavily debated, it has become a proof or evidence that we cannot do the same thing as we did at the time. And some people rejected the raise of the issue of presidential terms. We take from the data, ladies and gentlemen. And the second example is taken from our recent issue, that is one of the ministry of our government right now, that is Mr. Luhut bin Sarpanjaitan, also raised the plan of the revising or the amending the presidential term. And you know what is the response of Mr. President, Mr. Joko Widodo? He said that I refused the proposal of presidential term, of the amendment of presidential term. And it has been obvious that when we insist on doing this house, we will only lead to chaos. Ladies and gentlemen, moreover, this amendment contradicts the spirit of 1998 reform movement. One of the goals of reform movement is to create a measurable and definite circulation of leadership. The democratic system that has been agreed and implemented since 1998 requires consistency and commitment from all the corporate of the nation. Not only regulating an election, but the rules of law must be followed and obeyed so that certain public positions are not filled by the same person for too long. The law must ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate in government. Ladies and gentlemen, from the arguments that I mentioned before, we can take a conclusion that it is not really urgent, or even we don't need to do amendment for presidential terms. The amendment of presidential terms that has been raised not only at this time but many times in the past will only lead to chaos, and it will harm the constitution, our country, and the nation, and national security. As the country which obeys the constitutions and rules, moreover, 1945 Constitution, which is our fundamental rule, fundamental regulation for our country, and based on presidential system that is employed by many countries in the world, the answer of demanding the amendment of presidential term is the big no. Ladies and gentlemen, government just need to go on our programs, the rules, and also instead of and focusing on advancing Indonesia to be better, not talking about the amendment of presidential term, the amendment of presidential term. It only, I can say that it only brings the political purpose, right? And then prospering the people of Indonesia is the best things to do. Thank you very much. I rest my case.